Hey, what's going on, guys? Sorry I haven't uploaded anything recently. I've been kind of sucked into this game about over the past week. It's Elite Dangerous. I'm really enjoying it. First thoughts on this game when it was in the alpha phase, I wasn't really that interested. Star System was obviously taken over my interest completely with Space Sims, and I didn't think I'd be playing this at all. Kind of watched it through the development of beta phase 1 and 2. Didn't really see much. And for some reason 3 kind of grabbed me. They released mining and it just I don't know, I guess the mining made me look more into it and kind of revisit it. So I ended up purchasing the beta, and here I am. Don't really know what I'm doing just yet, kind of messing around, getting better at flight and fighting. Fast travel is still kind of something that, or I guess super cruise I think it's called. There's super cruise and hyperdrive. Hyperdrive is used for going from solar system to solar system, and super cruise is meant for traveling fast around a solar system, so you have like 2 stages of speed. Yes, I think I need to refuel. I'm not sure. Yep, rearm, repair, refuel. Really haven't done much to my ship right now. Got some wear and tear on it though. All I've pretty much done is put these 2 multi-cannons on it. They're the G1 classes. They have a gimbal on them, which is actually really nice, especially if you're just starting out. I used pulse lasers for a long time, and I think everyone should use the pulse lasers. I've been using it. This is actually the first day I just got these multi-cannons, but I used pulse lasers for probably a good 3 or 4 days. That's probably all I've been playing this, not too much. And the pulse lasers, because they don't have that, well, some do, but the ones that I was using don't have that huge tracking gimbal that'll compensate for, you know, your lack of accuracy. So I strongly recommend just using those pulse lasers, and that'll kind of dial you in, maybe making you a better shot. I've tried a bunch of different loadouts for trying to make money, just getting started in this game. Initially, I was kind of gung-ho with the whole mining thing. I was like, alright, make money, grab a mining laser and go mine. Well, turns out it's a little bit more in depth. You have to have a refinery, and you really only need 1 laser. It's kind of pointless to have 2. A refinery is an attachment, and I don't think I'll be able to pull it up in this station. Nope, can't. They don't have it at this station. But basically, your internal compartments, I could swap this cargo wreck out for a refinery. That'd be dumb though, because then I'd have nowhere to stick my minerals after I refine them. Obviously, you don't want to replace your shield generator either, unless you absolutely feel like you're just gonna mine in like a high security area. So this one would be like the slot that I use to stick a refinery in. Now the problem with the refinery is there's different stages. The first stage, the easiest one, cheapest one, you only get 1 bin, and with that 1 bin, and the way it works is you mine the asteroid with your laser, and it's not like Eve where it sucks it directly into your cargo and you go back to a station, drop it all off, or jettison it out and someone picks it up for you. You actually refine it on board, and then your refineries have bins. Well, in my case, the refinery had a bin. The problem with that being, each mineral you mine, or most asteroids have multiple types of minerals in them. I'm only seeing 2. So I was getting frustrated with getting an asteroid that had 2 extremely valuable minerals in it, like gold and something that started with a B. I still haven't really learned all the names yet. But you have to choose between the 2 because I only had 1 bin. So I was like, well, obviously I'm going to go with gold. It's more valuable. So I ended up getting to about 90-something%, and probably yeah, like 90%ish with creating one gold. I think ton is the unit that they're using to measure the amount. 1 ton of gold, and there's these vent buttons, because when you get done refining, you have to vent out the other minerals that you're not using when you don't have a second bin. So I meant to vent out the leftover of the other mineral, and I accidentally vented out all my gold. And then so I started mining gold from the asteroid again. I was like, whatever, I'm gonna get it. Stupid mistake, learned the hard way. Going through the asteroid, and then the asteroid ran out of gold for me, so I was still stuck with like a high amount, almost, a full mineral deposit of gold. And I never actually Alt F4'd, and I was very frustrated that day. Revisited mining the next day. I enjoyed it a little bit more because I kind of knew what I was doing. I wasn't so frustrated. I'd kind of calmed down. But I still didn't really enjoy had the time process, and it was a very boring time process. Now, like, another part of the mining thing, and maybe they're going to introduce tractor beams later in the game, I would hope, for cargo bays, but right now you have to actually maneuver your ship to pick up the minerals in your cargo bay, which is more than a pain that I'm really willing to deal with until they come out with maybe a ship that's built for this, or an attachment that's really nice. I've also I've gone with no weapon upgrades. I think it was actually my first way of trying to make money. I went with a cargo scanner, and then there's this limpet attachment you can get, and I don't think I can pull them up in this station as well. Nope. Basically utility mounts that would launch like a little, once you knock the shields down to your target, you could launch a drone that would hack your target's cargo bay and start jettisoning out all its inventory. I only had a couple successful runs with them. They fail a lot. Wasn't really a huge way of making money, on top of the fact that every limpet or drone you launch is like 500 credits, which kind of is a little setback if you don't really, if you don't, especially if it fails. And you can equip stuff. One thing that I don't have that I really want to get, actually I might go to the next system and get it here after I'm done making this video, was a kill warrant scanner. Now this is probably one of the more profitable things, and more, something that I've enjoyed having on my ship. I think they run about 13.3 credits, 13.3k credits, which isn't too bad. If you look down at the bottom right, see I have about 30, which isn't much. I've only been playing a couple days, but today's definitely been my most profitable day with the new weapons that I've gotten attached. The kill warrant scanner is actually a scanner that allows you to scan targets for warrants in other systems. I used this when I just had pulse lasers on, but those things are so god-awful at tearing through a hole, it just takes so long to kill people. Now, with the kill warrant scanner, it definitely paid for itself over time, but it does take time, and half the people you scan won't have warrants on them. And the way you use it is you actually have to pull up your contacts. Like, you'll scan someone, maybe it says they're clean in the system you're currently in, and you'll scan them, and then it'll say, oh, by the way, there's a 500 credit bounty on them, or 2k credit bounty on them. That's just because they have a bounty in another system. Now, you have to be careful when you use this, because if you're in a system that has high security, then you're going to gain a wanted bounty. So it may not be worth it to actually kill this guy unless you're in a low security system like I'm usually in, and you scan him and it basically adds on to the already wanted or the no wanted status that he has in that system. So you can get a little extra, either for just killing someone with a mining laser who has a bounty in another system, or killing someone who already has a 7k bounty on him that you kill warrant scan and picked up another 2k from another system's bounty. Again, really helpful. There's other levels to it. I'm not really sure what the other levels do, like how great they are. Maybe they reach out further to other systems to pull further bounties, would be my guess, or maybe they have like a faster scan rate, or maybe a longer range for the scanner. Again, something I haven't really looked into, but definitely the most profitable I've been is kind of sucking it up and finally unlocking these things, the multi-cannons. They're cost me about 30k, just shy of 30k for the two of them, so I definitely recommend grinding it out. Avoid mining if you're easily bored with stuff like that. You don't like repetitive gameplay, but get these multi-cannons and you're definitely going to start enjoying hunting a lot more. It's made a huge difference for me today. So yeah, like I said, and then you're gonna want to upgrade stuff like thrusters. Thrusters are your ability to maneuver around, and obviously your power plant's gonna be your main drive, your force forward. Sensors, I don't really know what sensors do. I'm assuming it's picking up ships and scanning them. This is like your passive scanner that you're always gonna have, and it's going to tell you the name of the vessel, and I think it just It'll tell you the name of the pilot, and the last thing it loads is their wanted status, if they're clear or wanted. So again, if you're bounty hunting, maybe upgrading your sensors is a good thing. Fuel tank, not really a huge thing. Shield generator, I'm perfectly fine with my shields. I've never really had a problem with dying. The only time I really ever die is if I'm hunting a guy and there's already 4 security vessels on him, and I accidentally tag one of the security vessels, and then they all turn on me, so it's pretty much run through the asteroids and try to get away. I've tried it a lot of different places for bounty hunting. I've also tried like the faction war zones. They don't really have that high yield, and if you're just going to chase a guy down in Super Cruise, you're probably not going to find many. Like you can follow his FSD wake and drop out where he dropped out of space, but sometimes, because you can't scan, or I guess you can scan him, but sometimes it's just not way. It's too big of a time hassle for what it pays out. So I like to do, there is a resource extraction site right next to where I'm at. I'm in the, let's see, right now I'm in Freeport inside the LP98 TAC 132 system, star system. These resource extraction sites are just asteroid fields, but you have a lot of wanted guys coming through there that are kind of ratting out through the mining vessels. They'll be scanning everyone, looking for precious cargo, looking for gold, and that's when they'll usually just start attacking random people, or people who are looking for a bounty. NPCs that are looking for a bounty will start attacking it. So you can kind of gang up on these guys. Like if there's an anaconda rolling around with a 30k bounty, you can just sit by and kind of watch them for a little bit and let everyone else take them down, and then try to swoop in for the kill at the last second. Kind of a cheesier tactic, but hey, it's a game, and that's what we do. There's no really right way of doing things here. So I mean, I'm just playing it solo right now. The online, last I played it was kind of buggy, but that was right when version 3 released, and they said they fixed it. I just haven't really bothered to check it out yet. I'm kind of honing in my skills before I go online. So you won't see any other players in this video, but maybe I can share some tactics or strategies. Alright, let's go ahead and launch. Again, like, this game is just visually very beautiful. It's fun to play, fun to watch, even, just like stuff like turning on your lights and spinning around inside here. It's kind of wild. Lots of controls. I'm using a joystick and my keypad, but I really want to get a throttle now.
Landing gear retracted.
Alright, so always remember when you're leaving a starport like that you need to leave in style. You can't just sneak your way out like everyone else does. Alright, so I'm gonna hit 1. I'm gonna go to my navigation tab. I'm gonna go down to this resource extraction site, lock my destination. I'd hit Super Cruise, but I think I'm still mass locked. Let's check. Yeah, I'm still mass locked. If you look in the bottom right, it says mass lock, and it's got the little blue icon, which is basically saying I'm too close to the starport to go into Super Cruise, because obviously there's a minimum range you need to be away before you can just start going into Super Cruise. Wait, oh look, there goes extinguish, so I don't have to just hit lock, I can hit lock and Super Cruise. So now it's going to put me in Super Cruise, and here we go.
Ready to engage.
Oh, throttle.
4, 3, 2,
That's why it took so long.
engage.
Get out of mass lock. Alright, so now if you look at I have this big map at the bottom, and then just up and above that you'll see what looks kind of like a eclipsed moon, and see how it turned from eclipsed moon to like a solid moon, or like a full moon. That's your target, that's where I'm trying to head. Oops, there's a planet there. Obviously I can't head directly to my target if there's a planet between them, so I'm going to have to go around the planet a little. And then I'm going to slow down. Actually, I'm not going too bad of a speed. So this is me purposely lined up. If you look at that, just above and to the left of the map, you got that kind of like a tracking little gimbal, which is nice for your target. And then even further to the left, you'll see resource extraction site, your distance and your speed. That little blue range is where you want those indicators to be for dropping out of Super Cruise. So obviously you want to be below a certain speed, and then you want to be at this optimal range too close, obviously, you see where it turns back to orange if you get too close. And you get me too far. Right now I'm too far, still trying to get closer. Alright, and then, so there's the two resource extraction sites. They're obviously really close to each other. Freeport's just not too far away, but I'm going to try to speed up to get there faster. Obviously, again, you don't want your speed to leave that blue when I'm this close. Leave the blue area, so I'm going to keep it just at the top of the blue while it helps burn down my distance. Keeping it lined up, using that gimbal, and then J is your default key to drop out of warp, and there we go, optimization. Safe disengage ready is the message to you. So that's when you hit out, so now I'm inside the asteroid field. It doesn't seem like the safest place to drop out of Super Cruise, concerning probably maybe in real life you still have a good amount of velocity, and cruising through this at that velocity is probably not the safest thing. Alright, so if you look down at my map, you'll see a bunch of targets. The way I've kind of like figured it out is you'll see groups of 3 rolling around. Sometimes they're miners, sometimes they're bounty hunters. They're generally sidewinders, like, oh, and this guy looks like a Cobra, and looks like he's a miner. So we'll target him. Yep, it's Cobra Murder 3, Expert. I'm still scanning to see if he's wanted. See down there, and down on the bottom left it says clean. So you got Neil Murdoch. He's considered an expert. Sometimes I wouldn't consider that actually accurate when they say someone's an expert or a novice, because the fights really depend on the scenario. And then you got this guy Shamdock, who's mostly harmless, still scanning, and he's clean. And then we'll go to their other wingman. Got Carl Sowie Novice, and he's probably clean too. Usually if he's clean, you know, you got 3 guys jumping together, they'll all be clean or all be clean. So we got a target over here. I'll hit my get to it faster. And again, mostly using my map down at the bottom to navigate to targets. I'm actually hardly ever looking up and visually tracking things until I realize I'm getting within range. So we got Wild Violet Rose here. He's a master and clean, so this guy's probably bounty hunting, or he has a mining laser attached and he doesn't really want to bother anyone today. So let's see. So it's hard to keep track of who you've scanned already. I mean, obviously, maybe it'll be easier if you upgrade those sensors like I talked about earlier, but I don't think those are the 3 guys I scanned earlier. So let's go try this new target way over here. You can kind of see it's a trail they leave behind them. That kind of makes it easier to visually track them once you see them on your map. Yeah, there it is. I can't really tell what it is yet. Maybe another Cobra?